Welcome back to the channel. So it's been a couple of months since I last left you, and I've been busy. I've been doing lots of little jobs, so I think without further ado, let's have a look at what I've actually been doing. So this month there has been a few new additions. I bought myself a Hornby Class 60, added this to my fleet because I haven't got a Class 60 and it's superb. Also bought some Acura scale little cement wagons, so I've got a pack of 3 and I thought I'd weather them up. So I did some research and I got some white primer and dry brushed that over the sides just to get that sort of faded look. So these look good running around the layout. So a little recap from the last video. This is where I was on the last video, and I obviously built some little houses to go in the corner just to get a dressed feel of what it was going to look like. I have actually progressed further and actually redesigned a lot of the town scene to be more in fitting what I wanted. So without further ado, let's have a look and see how it's all changed. So for the roads, I thought I'd do a different technique than I've ever done before. So I'm going to use sandpaper. This is 1500 grit and you can get this from any Motor Factors. Now I've laid this on top of the wooden surface that is around the town scene that creates the road, and just glued it down with PVA glue. Some of the seams that I can catch up with a little bit of grey roof dirt, that kind of colour, a very dark grey, just to sort of go over and create some seams and like holes in the road, and that's my plan with that. But it's gone pretty well. It's a nice little surface, it looks pretty good, and I'm going to weather it just to get that road definition. I've done the same thing with the road bridge as well, put sandpaper on there as well. As for the actual side of the bridge, I started doing that in plastic card. I've made some patterns on the Cricut machine, cut them out, and like an Airfix kit, just pretty much made each piece together. I could have done a lot more work and done a lot more things. Maybe I'll revisit this when I've got more time. But as a quick fix, I'm happy with the way the bridge is. It didn't quite give me enough definition as I really wanted, but I ran out of plastic card, all that kind of thing. So I made a compromise, but I actually like it. It's okay, and it'll do for the scene. Then I'm going to paint it. You can see I've done some grey primer over it, and then just coloured over. All in all, looks pretty good. I'm very happy. Heading back to the corner where I'm going to create the town scene, what am I going to put on there? I have recalled where my great-grandparents used to live, which was Wells Road down by Old Oak Common, that actually overlooked the Great Western Depot at Old Oak Common. Now their house actually backed onto literally the depot areas. Looking at here, you can see like a footprint of roughly how that looks. So sadly, the Old Oak Common depot is gone, but you can see some houses there, and obviously the road overlooks where you've got the diggers and stuff. So that's the scene I'm going to recreate. So with my family history, I know this was the house they used to live in. The one on the left there, that was their house. Well, I would love to live there today, but there we go. So I thought it'd be nice to recreate this scene overlooking the railway, not quite looking over the depot. So with this, I've got to recreate these in CAD software. These are taking me about a week to make and do and count the bricks and all the rest of it. From here, I go to the slice software, slice them onto the plate there. I've done it laying down. I should have done them standing up. It would have been better, but I made so many of these, just done them for quick speed. These only took 3 hours this way. It would have taken nearly 7 hours to do them the other way. Knowing I had to build a few, this was what I'd done. As you can see, I got my little glass houses. I've done them in a clear resin. These will respray. So I've done a few of them. I always move things around to see how it looks, because some things work better than others. So this is not the correct fitting, but this is what I'm getting a feel of. I also knocked up a little signal box as printed as it sits, really. So I made one of these up and obviously just sprayed it in a white spray ready for painting. It's a case of taking it down to the table and start painting all these things up, and this took a week to do. So it's literally it's been like 3 weeks of making houses, and but you can see already this is the sort of look. One went wrong, but I just covered it over with some trees and some ivy on the top. For the signal box, you can see I've put a wooden floor in that's plasticard. The rest of it is just printed in 3D itself. But for the plasticard floor, I just literally scratched some wooden boards in the usual technique. Just keep scratching it to get them sort of grain in it, and then obviously add different colour browns and whites to get that sort of look you get. Back to the street scene. Obviously I've been gluing some pavement down. You can see the street is coming along by far. Obviously just gluing them down a bit more, and I'm going to glue these in place, so if I do lift this whole section off, nothing falls and breaks. Now I could have made these a little bit better. I could have made them a little bit more fitting. I could close the gaps by the chimney. There's a lot of things I could have done, but it takes hours and hours trying to get that perfection, and I got to the point where I was going to leave it. You can see the two side by side, and I think the results speak for themselves. They look pretty good, and it gives me exactly what I want. Obviously fitting curtains and blinds took another 3 days to do, sort of colouring in paper and fabrics, and I tried to create them as they were, but then some things worked, some things didn't, so I've changed it a little bit to create a bit of privacy, but obviously to create that sort of look of something different as well. With all the town scene out the way now, it's a case of getting on with the track work, doing all the cable troughing and the wires, the warning wires to go underneath the track. The warning wires are done with cocktail sticks painted orange, and all the cable troughing is 2mm card, one lot laid down first, and then some 2mm card lids laid on top to create the cable trough lids. So with that all said and done, the only major job at this point is to do the rest of the ballasting around the station area. So bring on the fast forwarding of me doing some ballasting. Now usually when I do my ballasting, I like to lay it all down, let it settle for a couple of days, run trains over it, and then start gluing it down in the usual water PVA fashion. And it seems to work well for me. So I did something different this time with the weathering. I actually used dry brushing, and I just gently brushed it into the track to get the tones I wished for, instead of spraying it on. I was going to spray it, but I didn't want spray going all around the house or the bedroom, so I've just decided to dry brush it. It's a nice little effect, and it works very well. Of course, the model railway is never finished, so I finished off some low relief offices. These are done on the Cricut machine. I also added the flats that should be at the back of Old Oak Common Depot, so I've now created them and installed them behind the sheds. And then the other job that I needed to do was the middle bits of the embankment. I need to do the bricks on top of the retaining wall, and obviously fill the seam in the middle with some kind of brickwork. So all this has now been addressed and finished. With the bridge in place and the buildings now there, and all the ballast done, I need to add some fence posts and some posters to this area. All the fence posts are 3D printed. Basically made some small little posts, 2mm in height, and I put about 80 on one block and printed them out. These took about 10 minutes to print out, which is great. And then from here I added some brass wire to go through the middle and glued them all up and painted them. With the posters, Again, these are just made out of card on the Cricut machine, and I've just framed them and put them all together. Again, nice, easy, simple job. And if you remember, I've done the feature on the wall where we show a couple of different channels to give them a bit of exposure. So let's have a look who's made it onto the wall of Cheekytek. So who is on the Modeller's Cool Wall this week? So let's have a little look who's made it to the cool wall. So I think we'll kick off our first one in style. This is Tom. He runs a Facebook page called the Hornby Train Layout 00 Gauge. Now, if you're new to the hobby, this is a great place to start. And if you just want to keep up with feeds and local exhibitions and stuff, give Tom a view and keep up to date with all the things that he posts. My next mention is for Martin at Coleridge Junction. Now, I've met Martin at an exhibition before, and he's a lovely chap, and he's got a layout in his train room, probably I think it's a loft. So if you want some ideas and see some of the things he does, pop over and catch his channel. And if you're looking for weathering for your trains or your rolling stock or any more sort of diorama information of how to paint and make things, check out Bunter's Yard, a great site for lots of kit building and weathering, diorama making, all that kind of thing. Check out Bunter's Yard. And if you're looking at building a layout or more ideas on transportation, more depth into model railways, check out Dudley Central. Joe has a load of videos on there that will help you through your way of railway modelling. So don't forget to subscribe, like and follow their journeys. Alright, stop trains there before I crash anywhere else. There we go, stop. Okay, so that's all I've got for you in this video. As you know, I've been very busy with doing lots of other things. As you can see, the town scene behind me is coming on heaps and bounds, so in the next video we'll have a close look at some of the other work that I've been doing at bringing this up to speed, and my word have I been busy. So we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, look after yourselves and keep happy, smiley. Till then, cheery bye.